Welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute, your source of internet marketing inspiration.
Hey everyone, we are back with, I think this is our third live stream. Took a couple of weeks off because I was playing in a charity golf tournament for the local bar association here. And then last week I was at Podfest in Orlando, and Monday's episode of Law Firm Marketing Minute will kind of go into everything that I learned at Podfest. It was a really good trip, met a lot of really cool people. If you are here after we met from Podfest, hi again. It was really nice to connect and all that. And so this week, and this specific episode, however, this is a big episode, and I wanted to do this one live because I think, it's super important, and I'm super excited about it. It is, I guess, the second day. Yesterday, we released our first ever legal marketing trends report. This was a huge project I started on at the start of the year. Interviewed a ton of lawyers. Got a ton of responses back. Hundreds of responses back. Then compiled all of that into what ended up being a book, essentially about 100 pages. I know Clio's Trends Report is kind of the big one in the industry. Theirs is typically 70, 75 pages. We went 100. Not that we're competing with Clio by any means, because the content of our report is very different from theirs. Ours is really focused on the marketing side of things. Theirs is more around CRM, their platform, and more firm management sorts of things. We have a little bit of that in there, but the bulk of it is marketing related. And I think there's a ton of great information in there that you can use to just kind of gauge where your firm is in comparison to firms all around the country. So I'm really excited as to how this turned out. My goal, I have two main goals for this. First, the goal for the 2023 Trends Report is to get it done earlier. So we're going to start surveying people towards the end of this year, hopefully have the report released maybe March or April of next year. So, there's still going to be a ton of good info, ton of good applicable info, and it'll be interesting to see kind of how things change a little bit, in a relatively shorter amount of time between 22 and 23. The other goal that I have is to do this for the financial industry. Here at Spotlight Branding, we do serve a lot of lawyers, but we also do serve financial pros, accountants, financial advisors, stuff like that. And I want to be able to provide a similar report for you if you are in that industry. It's just we're at a spot right now where we have a larger sample size of lawyers out there. And so I felt better about putting data together for the legal side more so than I did for the financial side. Hopefully, however, as we continue to attend more events, as we continue to just kind of dig into that financial vertical, we will create more connections and get enough people to be able to survey, get a good sample size, and put that report together. So if you are watching the video, here is the trends report. So like I said, ended up being about 100 pages. It's a lot of visuals. It's not a ton of text. The text that's in there is pretty big, so that's partly why it turned out as 100 pages. We will have a limited number of physical copies of this that we will give away for free. They're probably going to be all gone by the end of this month. We're going to be taking copies down to the Florida Bar Convention and the North Carolina Bar Convention later this month. So if you're in one of those states and you're attending that conference, come by the booth. We'll have a copy for you, assuming you get there before we run out. We will have limited numbers of that. But wanted to take the time. This will be a little bit of a longer episode, a little bit of a longer stream. And I just wanted to go through this report and let you know about just some of the bigger points in there, some of the things that we covered, and some of the themes that we found in it. I think the two big themes that emerged, and this is not going to surprise anybody, it's that lawyers feel like they don't have enough time for anything, especially marketing. And when it comes to their marketing, a lot of lawyers either don't understand marketing strategy or the strategy behind certain marketing activities, or they don't see the value in those strategies and activities. And so um, that is something that was enlightening for us, especially as a marketing company, that, you know, when a larger percentage of respondents do not understand the strategy or they don't see the value in the strategy, that puts the onus on us to make sure that we're continuing to educate and show the ROI and the results and the meaning behind why we're doing what we're doing. So, you know, going through this, one of the one of the things that we asked to kind of come to this conclusion was, what is the biggest marketing challenge that you're facing in your firm? And 41% of the respondents said time, like they need more time to devote to marketing. Um, 27% said they needed help standing out from their competitors. Another 21% said it was a lack of a marketing budget. The other 11% said they didn't know how to market their firm. But 41%, I mean, the majority there of respondents, said they needed more time to devote to their marketing. However, what was kind of ironic about that statement was we dug into that. We asked how law firms are handling their marketing, and 56% said they handle it in house. So, you can kind of see how these patterns are building. 21% work with a local company, and then the remaining 23% work with a national company, kind of split between one that specializes in legal marketing, so someone like us, versus just a more generic national marketing company that serves several different industries. But again, it's 41% said that they needed to devote more time to marketing. 56% said that they handle it in house. And so obviously there's not a direct correlation there, because obviously not everyone who said they needed more time to devote to their marketing also did it in house. But just numbers alone, a lot of the people who said they needed to devote more time to marketing are the same ones who are handling it in house. Um, Dug a little deeper into that, though. We asked, for those who said that they are handling it in house, we asked them how they are doing it. 61% of lawyers who handle their marketing in house do it themselves. 39% have a dedicated staff person. So I'm not necessarily worried about that 39%. I'm worried about that 61% who they say they need more time to devote to their marketing. They're handling their marketing in house, and they're the ones who are handling their marketing, because that's a really tough job. Because what ends up happening, and I've seen this happen a ton, is that lawyer is handling everything themselves. They are doing their own marketing, and when they get busy with their actual casework, the marketing is usually one of the first things that gets dropped, gets pushed aside, because they just don't have time to do it. And then what ends up happening is when the marketing stops, the leads and the nurturing stops, and the momentum stops, so that when they're done with their casework, they don't have anything going on. And then the panic sets in, and then you get these cash flow peaks and valleys, and it's just this constant ebb and flow of abundance and nothing. And the whole point of marketing, or at least one of the biggest points of marketing, is that you don't have these peaks and valleys or anything like that. The idea behind marketing is to send you a steady stream of business. Ideally, it's to send you more business than you can handle, and then you have to refer out. But yeah, it was really interesting as I was studying this data just to see how this ended up emerging so naturally and how it really confirmed a lot of the things that we've been seeing. Um, in terms of people who outsource their marketing, because we were really interested in this, because we were, as a marketing company or any other kind of internet, and if you own a firm, you kind of understand this too. When someone decides to work with a different company, you'd had a consultation with them, and then you follow up later and you find out that they've hired someone else. You want to know why. You want to know why. You want to know why you didn't get chosen or anything like that. But we asked about the type of vendors that they work with, and so whether they work with just an all-encompassing marketing company or specialized vendors within that marketing space. And 71% of lawyers who outsource their marketing to a vendor work with this kind of one-stop shop. So it's this marketing company who literally does every kind of marketing. They do the SEO, the paid ads, they do the blog writing, they do social media management, they do review management, reputation management, PR, all that kind of stuff. And 64% of the people who work with the one-stop shop indicated that they were not satisfied with the products that they receive or the results that they were getting. And again, this confirms it ended up confirming something that we have been saying for a very long time. And it's not necessarily just because we specialize in a certain area of marketing. It does validate that, but it also in turn validates why we encourage lawyers to niche down into a specific practice area, maybe one or two practice areas. You are going to only be able to do one or two things exceptionally well. And with the direction that our society is heading, people want to work with the experts. And so what's kind of ironic is that these lawyers, especially those who have picked a niche, they have one specific practice area, maybe two specific practice areas that they really do focus on and they do really well. They then outsource it to a broad, generic marketing company who does several different things, none of them exceptionally well. And then they end up disappointed by the results. Well, of course they will be, because they're not going to do anything exceptionally well. They're just going to be there to check off the boxes. So that was just interesting to me. That one got me a little bit fired up. If you're not satisfied with the one-stop shop, yes, it might be a little bit more work to coordinate communication between vendors, specialists, but you're going to get better results from that because you have experts working in a specific area of your firm's marketing. Another question that we asked, kind of along this vein, along this sort of theme here, is we asked our respondents why they think they end up losing business to other firms. 46% said it was because they think that their competitors charge lower rates. 38% said that they think their competitors have better marketing. Only 16% say it had anything to do with their competitors having more experience, which was surprising to me. I thought that number would be a little bit more higher, or a little bit higher, but it wasn't. 46% say they think it's because their competitors charge lower rates. And we have a section in this report where we asked, people to kind of calculate what their hourly rate was, try to basically just take into consideration, even though they probably charge flat fees or retainers, once you divide, your total revenue by hours worked and all of that, what your hourly rate ended up being. And kind of the majority was in that $200 to $400 an hour range. And then to see 46% of people say that they lose out because someone charges lower rates is interesting. And it's not, to me, and kind of what we're seeing, is it's not because the competitor had lower rates. It's 100%. This was almost a trick question. It's 100% because the competitor has better marketing. It goes back to something that we say a lot, where the best lawyers and those that just keep in touch, end up getting the business. Lawyers are notorious for failing to keep in touch with people. And so when people are coming to you, even if you don't think that their issue is dire, they do not have any clue what's going on in their life. It's a legal issue. It's very confusing. They have no idea. They think their world is falling apart around them. And so if they don't feel like they're valued, if they don't feel like a firm is taking them seriously, they're going to go somewhere else. They're going to stay in touch, or they're going to go with the firm that stays in touch more. So to me, even if that firm charges lower rates, it's 100% because that firm marketed better just by staying in touch and providing resources and education. So, and here's the thing, like, at the same time, let's say that there was a world where competitors charged lower rates, right? Um, who cares? You don't want to work with people who are price shopping. They're not going to make great clients. Your marketing should repel some people in that sense. But if you're marketing yourself the right way, if you're building up that expert status, and this is kind of what we talk about a lot, if you're making yourself look like the expert and the only logical choice, the best in your community, people aren't going to care about what you charge because they're going to come to you expecting to pay a premium fee, regardless of whether or not they know what that fee is. So, when it comes to why firms lose business, it's really, it shouldn't be that high of a percentage. It is most likely because competitors have better marketing. The competitors did a better job of staying in touch. And there are things that, within the content marketing questions that we asked that definitely, I think point to that. The big one, and kind of going into this, 43% of respondents said that their firm does not send an email newsletter. And so, even just a monthly newsletter right there, like, that's what's going to create a lot of touch points, drive referrals, drive repeat business, but it's going to help educate people. That is it's one of our most effective services that we offer at Spotlight Branding, because it's that simple touch point. It's that simple educational touch point that positions you as the expert, keeps you top of mind with people. We hear clients often talk about how every time they send a newsletter out, they get multiple referrals, multiple requests for repeat business. And yet 43% of law firms are not doing this. All right. So there's a decent chance. If almost half of the law firms out there aren't doing this, there's a decent chance that if you think you're losing business to someone because they have better marketing or because they charge lower rates, this might be the indicator why, because they have a good email system in place to keep in touch with people. 41% of the people who don't send an email newsletter said that they didn't do so because they did not see the value in it. And I've just told you the value in it. It's that simple touch point. It's that ability to stay top of mind and to remind people what you do, because chances are people aren't fully aware of what you do. Even if you have one practice area, people won't likely understand the full scope of everything involved in your practice area. So what I mean by that, for example, if you're an estate planning lawyer, and you write wills for people may not be fully aware that you could also do trusts, and you can also potentially do Medicare, Medicaid planning. I know that's getting into the elder law space, but those tend to overlap quite a bit. So there's so many things that you can do to educate your audience to make sure that they know everything that it is you're doing. Kind of moving on here, because we're running pretty long, and I knew this was going to be a long episode, so we'll continue to go through this. Social media, 68% of respondents say that their firm is on social media and post somewhat consistently. The predominant platform is Facebook. 85% of the firms that are on social media are on Facebook. 71% on LinkedIn, and then roughly 40 to 50%. On Google My Business, Twitter, and Instagram. Only 9% on TikTok, and there's a big opportunity there. I follow probably close to 100, maybe 200 lawyers at this point, on our company's TikTok channel, and they're all doing really good stuff. They're educating. That's all it is. They're educating. They have their phone set up in front of them. There's not, they don't have to do funny dances or trends or anything like that. They're just boom. They're informing people of their rights and their legal options, and there's a ton of value there that you can take advantage of, especially at only 9%. There's a huge window there for you to get on there, build a following, and build that expert status. Moving on here. Video. So, what shocked me about this is that there was a broader study. I can't remember who did it off the top of my head, but basically it was like I said, like 80%, 86% of businesses across all industries use video as part of their marketing strategy. But only 33% of our lawyer respondents said that they were using video. So it's only a third. So if you're not using video, there's a huge opportunity there for you to stand out and stand out more from your competitors. Of those that did not use video, 59% said that they didn't see the value in it. Only 26% said that they were uncomfortable in front of a camera, which was surprising to me. I thought that number would be higher. I thought that would be the main reason. It was not. 59% of lawyers who don't do video don't see the value in it. And, the value is pretty simple. You're just, whether you mean to or not, you're a scary person, right? People are intimidated by lawyers. They think that you are just this different kind of human that just isn't like the rest of us. And video, whether it's on TikTok or you have a video library on your website, whatever it is, video helps break down that barrier. It helps people see that you're just a human being, like a normal person, and people get more comfortable with you, and it builds that trust. We talk about know, like, and trust in the marketing industry. It builds that trust. It really does, and it's a great tool, and it helps. It can also help, ease that conversion time because you're spending less time educating people and you're spending more time closing the deal, getting to work on their case. So there's the value, 100% right there. 43% of respondents do not have a blog in their law firm. 77% of those said that they don't have the time to do it. So this was a little bit differently. Only 23% said they didn't see the value in it. The majority said that they didn't have time and they didn't want to pay for it. So, we all know how important blogging is. And it was actually really surprising. Almost half of respondents said that they did not have a blog. And so, and what I was seeing in this is that a lot of small firms are still just relying on word of mouth to handle their marketing. And that's great, but you need to be able to back that up. We're getting to a point where people need the social proof. They need a little bit more than just a referral. They need to just see that you have a presence, that you look competent. And so the marketing service, especially in what we do, is we reinforce that. You get a referral, word of mouth, whatever it is, people are going to come to your website. Whoops, I dropped my pen. People are going to come to your website. They're going to see everything that you're doing. And that's going to reaffirm that person's referral in their mind, So, blogging is important. Of the blogs, 63% of those that do outsource, great. 37% write their own blogs. Slightly concerning, especially given what we talked about at the beginning around time. If you're struggling to find the time to devote to marketing, your blogging is probably what's sucking up a lot of that time. Because I know how lawyers are. You're perfectionist. You want to make sure that you're covering everything, that everything is correct, and that you sound smart. And oftentimes lawyers will spend multiple hours on a blog that shouldn't be spent. You shouldn't be spending that long on a blog article because you're not writing for other lawyers. Who cares what other lawyers think about your blogs? You're writing for the people who are going to hire you, and the people who are going to hire you don't need to get super deep into the weeds on the issue. They just need a rudimentary understanding of what's going to happen if they take an action or don't take action. And they need to know that you're the right person who can guide them through it. That's it. It's that simple. You don't need to spend hours making sure that every single sentence and every single word is as perfect as it can be. And so, for the 37% that write their own blogs, strongly recommend you outsource that and focus your energy. Even if you continue to do your own marketing, focus that energy on doing something else. Um, we talk a little bit about websites, networking. Um, I was genuinely a little bit shocked by um, the small amount of networking. 29% of respondents rarely or never do any sort of like large scale networking. So, you know, bar associations, chamber of commerce meetings, business groups, large mixers, stuff like that. 29% rarely ever do it. Only 9% do it weekly, 19% do it monthly, 30% do it quarterly. And there's some leaf blower outside. Perfect timing. But we're wrapping up here. So, intimate networking, so kind of one-on-one, referral nurturing, stuff like that. 21% of respondents engage in that weekly. 30% do it a few times a month. Only 12% rarely or never do it. So that's a little bit better. But that is one of those things where your marketing can help you scale that. The touch points that you create with your marketing can help you scale that kind of intimate networking and kind of help you get the same results. And that's something that we've talked about a lot before, and something that you should really consider. Kind of the big statistic, and we'll wrap up on this, is we asked people about the number of referrals that they're getting. We asked them, what percentage of their business comes from referral. 15% said that less than 20%, which was a little surprising. 21% said more than 20% of their business comes from referral. Another 20% said that more than 40. 17% said that more than 60%. Another 20% said more than 80. So it's pretty even here across the board. 7% of people said that 100% of their business comes from referral. And one of the big points that I made in this report was that regardless of what percentage of your business comes from referrals, 100% of lawyers, there's room for improvement. And we've talked about the Texas Tech study before. I reference it in this report. About 80% of people are willing to give you a referral, but only about 30% actually do. So even if 100% of your business comes from referrals, even the 7% of lawyer respondents who said that in this report, there's still an opportunity to double the number of referrals that they're getting. The 7% can literally double their business based on referrals alone, and they're still not maxing out. So there's a ton of opportunity in this, in your marketing there, and the data that's laid out in this trends report, I think does a really good job of showing that. So that was just kind of a surface overview. There's a ton of more data in there. There's a lot more insight, a lot more actionable advice and steps that you can take to, with this data. And so I encourage you to go and grab your free copy. You can go to spotlightbranding.com/trends22. Let me see if I can add this link to the video. Look at that right there. I'm a producer in the middle of hosting this live stream right there. Trends22, spotlightbranding.com/trends22 if you're watching the video. Spotlightbranding.com/trends22. So go there, get your free copy, read the report, let us know what you think. And then we also encourage you to participate next year when, or I guess later this year when we open up the call for responses. I'm super excited for this report. I'm really proud of how it turned out. Special thanks to Lily, who helped design this. She's on our team, did a really great job in designing this report and helping us get it published, and so and get the physical copies made. And so go to spotlightbranding.com/trends22 to get your free copy. And I think we're going to wrap this one up now. We went really long, but I think there was a ton of really good value here that everybody needed. And so thank you so much for all of that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, john@spotlightbranding.com. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for joining us. Please visit lawfirmmarketingminute.com for more information. We'll see you next time.